And do you think it's a good idea to send a little girl out into the forest?
Not really, no.
Why did you do it?
Wanted to get her out from under my feet, really.
And why aren't you out there looking for her?
I've got some other jobs to do later.
Right. Do you care?
Oh, of course. Oh, yes. I care about her.
Right. But your housework's quite important to you, is it?
Oh, yes.
More important than your child, perhaps?
Not too important, no.
Would you describe yourself as a caring parent?
Quite caring, yes.
And where exactly is it that you live, Mr. Wolf?
In the forest.
And do you have any neighbours?
Yeah, kind of.
Mr. Wolf,
Yeah,
how are you?
little bit thank you.
Where did you spend yesterday afternoon?
With my friend in the house.
And then after you were with your friends in the house, where did you go out to?
For picnic,
A picnic in the...
the woods.
And when you were at this picnic in the woods, who did you meet?
Different people.
And what? And in particular, who did you meet?
The lady.
A lady?
Yeah.
Was she an old lady?
The lady.
A young lady. And what was her name, Wolf?
Mrs. Molly.
Mrs. Molly.
Yeah.
And what was Mrs. Molly wearing?
A pretty dress.
And what colour was the pretty dress?
The red.
A red dress. And what did you say to her, Wolf?
Surprise for her.
You told her to pick some flowers.
Yeah, for mother.
That's her mother.
Wolf in the forest, is that right?
Yeah, he came up and talked to me and asked me where I was going. Said that it'd be nice to pick some flowers for my grandma.
So, Mr. Wolf,
Yeah.
what did you say to Miss Molly when you saw her in the wood? You told her to pick some flowers for her grandmother.
Yeah, we did.
And did you ask her anything else?
No, the song. So we're up again.
Little Red Riding Hood said that she met you in the forest. And we're presuming it's you, because you're the only wolf that's been around for a while. And she didn't know who you were.
Oh, she's lying, isn't she? You know what little girls are like.
He was saying some very strange things which I didn't feel comfortable with, because he's meant to be a friend. You know, my parents know him, and you know he's never acted like that before.
What sort of things did he say?
Just weird things, like wanting me to curl up in the bed next to him, and I didn't feel comfortable with it. And just sort of saying that, you know, if I didn't, that, you know, that he'd tell my mum all these things that weren't true. And I didn't want to get into trouble.
Whose house did you go to?
My friend's house.
And who was in your friend's house?
Different people there.
And did you go to the grandma's house?
Yeah, I did.
And what did you do when you got to grandma's house?
I'm a cooking for her.
I don't think that's true, Mr. Wolf. And the other thing that I don't quite understand, Mr. Wolf, was why when we found you in the forest, that you were still wearing a night dress.
Well, I can explain that.
I think you ate her.
No, it was my fairy tale.
Mr. Wolf, I
I know
think
that.
you ate the grandmother,
Yeah, thank you. No, it's a good thing.
and then Miss Molly arrived,
Yeah, she told me.
and she tried to eat you.
You didn't encourage him in any way.
Why would I encourage him?
You tried to eat Miss Molly as well.
Yeah, and my friends did.
And is that true?
That's right.
Wolfie.
Did they tell me? Yes, the people here. They tell you.
I think you might be lying to me, Wolf.
No, I know.
Maybe you are innocent, Mr. Wolf, but people don't like wolves that talk to small children and eat grandmothers, do they?
I didn't eat it.
Well, I'm just, there you are and all alone in the forest and you start talking to a wolf.
Yeah, but I knew him.
Does she know anybody in the forest?
She knows absolutely nobody. No one.
Had no reason not to talk to him.
But don't you know that wolves are dangerous?
Yeah, but he seemed quite nice. So,
Yeah, see, what the wolf's telling us, though, is that he wanted nothing to do with you, and you were trying to entice him back to your granny's cottage. Is that true?
no. Why would I do that?
Well, I don't know. I don't know why you do that. That's why I'm hoping you tell me that.
I didn't even know why he was there. I mean, I was a bit frightened really because I'd come to see my granny and then she wasn't there, and you find him wearing my nan's nightie. It was a bit strange, to be honest.
You know what little girls are like?